Everyone is talking about Taylor Swift right now. Ever since she announced her brand new album, fans cannot stop dissecting every detail, and one theory in particular has everyone spiraling. People are whispering that one of the songs could be about her supposed fallout with Blake Lively, a friendship we all thought was rock solid, but now viewers are convinced cracks are showing. And trust me, this isn't just speculation out of nowhere. The internet is packed with theories, with Swifties piecing together tiny clues, and the conversation is getting louder by the hour. In today's video, I'm going to break it all down. The song titles, the rumored feud, the lawsuit that dragged Taylor into headlines, and even the moment fans think Taylor herself might have thrown subtle shade. By the end, you'll see why this theory has Swifties losing it. But before we dive in, if you love staying ahead of the biggest pop culture drama,
millions of people were tuning in just a few hours into this, literally 5.6 million views in 5 hours, and they literally broke the internet with this episode as they tweeted out, "We hit a glitch, but we'll be back shortly. Shout out all the 92%ers and Swifties for actually helping us break the internet."
The kind of updates people can't stop talking about? Make sure you subscribe right now. That way, you don't miss the next wild twist in this story. So let's start with the big one. Taylor's podcast appearance that shocked fans worldwide. Taylor showing up on the New Heights podcast was already headline worthy because, let's be real, she rarely does interviews. But the fact that she chose this platform, hosted by her boyfriend Travis Kelce and his brother, made the internet explode. The episode racked up 5.6 million views in just 5 hours. That's not just impressive, that's historic. They even had to tweet out that they literally broke the internet. Swifties were glued to every word, every laugh, every little detail she dropped. And then came the moment no one expected. Taylor officially announced her 12th studio album, titled The Life of a Showgirl. She revealed the cover art, the full track list, and instantly, theories started flooding social media. But one track in particular sent fans into overdrive, Ruin the Friendship. It's track number 6, and given everything swirling about her and Blake Lively, people can't stop asking, is this about them? Think about it. Blake has directed one of Taylor's music videos. Her daughter's voice is literally featured on Taylor's song Gorgeous, and they've been publicly close for years. So when a song with that title shows up, fans immediately connected the dots. And it didn't stop there. Another track, simply called Cancelled at number 10, has people suspicious too. No confirmation yet, but the timing, the drama, and the song titles have Swifties buzzing like crazy. But here's where things get even more interesting. Taylor explained on the podcast that this album isn't about what happened on stage during her record-breaking Eras tour. Instead, it's about what was happening off stage, the struggles, the private moments, the real drama no one saw. That statement made fans double down on the Blake theory, because if this album is about real-life offstage issues, what bigger personal storm could there be than her friendship falling apart?
Now, on the podcast, when talking about this upcoming album, Taylor said that these songs are about things that went on after her shows and things that she was going through throughout the Eras tour.
And the reason I wanted to have it sort of like an offstage moment as the main album cover is because this album isn't really about what happened to me on stage. It's about what I was going through offstage. So
Sure.
it's like I didn't want to have like the lights are bright, I'm on the stage as the main album cover. It's just this to me tells more of what the actual contents lyrically of the album are. I wanted the album to feel the way my life felt, and this completely matches the way that my life has felt. And I also wanted it to be just every single song is on this album for hundreds of reasons, you know, and you couldn't take one out and it be the same album. You couldn't add one and it's just right. And that focus and that kind of discipline with
Now, here's where the whole story takes a wild turn. While Taylor was wrapping up the Eras tour in December, Blake Lively's world was starting to spiral. She faced backlash for how she promoted It Ends With Us, but things completely exploded when a New York Times article dropped, exposing claims that she had filed a complaint against director Justin Baldoni. Blake accused him of creating a toxic environment on set, serious boundary issues, inappropriate behavior, the works. Justin didn't sit back quietly. He fired back with a $400 million defamation countersuit against Blake, Ryan Reynolds, and even their publicist. Suddenly, what was supposed to be just a movie promotion turned into an all-out war. And here's where Taylor's name got dragged in. According to Justin's legal team, Blake allegedly leaned on her closest allies, Taylor and Ryan, calling them her dragons, who would protect her in conflicts. They claimed Blake tried to use Taylor's influence to force Justin into accepting script rewrites. That's when Taylor's team had to step in with receipts. They made it crystal clear. Her only connection to this film was licensing her song, My Tears Ricochet. No casting, no script script changes, no behind-the-scenes involvement, nothing. But it didn't end there. Justin's team later claimed Blake had even threatened to leak 10 years of private texts between her and Taylor unless Taylor publicly supported her in the fight. Imagine the headlines if that had actually happened. The kicker? Sources revealed that the person who helped hand over this info to Justin's team was none other than Taylor's dad, Scott Swift. According to reports, he wanted to protect his daughter and get her name untangled from the lawsuit at any cost.
He signed a letter to the judge that said, "On February 14, 2025, I received a voicemail from a person very closely linked to Taylor Swift, whom I subsequently called back the same day. Out of respect for the individual in question, I am not identifying them at this time. However, should the court direct me to do so, I will comply with the court's order." During the February 14th phone call, which lasted approximately 1 hour, the speaker told me that they had been informed that J. Douglas Baldridge, counsel for Taylor Swift and a partner at Venable LLP, had received a phone call from Michael Gottlieb, counsel for Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, during which Mr. Gottlieb requested on Miss Lively's behalf that Taylor Swift make a social media statement in support of Miss Lively, given her absence from the Super Bowl that year, and stated that if Miss Swift failed to do so, Miss Lively would release 10 years of private text with Miss Swift. The individual also told me that they had been informed that Mr. Baldridge had accused Mr. Gottlieb of extortion and ended the call. During the same February 14th call, the individual told me that they had been informed that 4 or 5 months earlier, Miss Lively had requested that Miss Swift delete her text messages with Miss Lively. I was connected to this individual through a mutual friend who informed me that the individual wanted to talk. We have had several phone calls since February 14th. On a later call with the same individual, the individual told me that Mr. Baldridge had sent a written communication to Mr. Gottlieb relating to their phone conversation. My office issued a subpoena to Venable LLP for the purpose of seeking the aforementioned written communication. I declare, under penalty of perjury, that the foregoing is true and correct.
Even after the subpoena against Taylor was dropped, the fallout only fueled more speculation. Fans started whispering that maybe the friendship between her and Blake didn't survive all this chaos. Because think about it, when your name gets dragged into someone else's legal war, when headlines connect you to drama you didn't ask for, it leaves a mark. And Swifties began to wonder if Taylor had already dropped subtle hints about this fracture. On the New Heights podcast, while talking about how she handles negativity, Taylor casually said that her name can be in a headline even if the story has nothing to do with her. Fans immediately pointed out how perfectly that fit with the Blake and Justin situation. Taylor was everywhere in the press without lifting a finger. It felt like her way of saying, look, I didn't sign up for this, but people are out here dragging me in anyway. And if you know Taylor, you know she doesn't just throw lines like that out casually.
And they wrote, Scott Swift did not want his daughter to be dragged into this any further, and he voluntarily gave up this information as part of a deal that would include Baldoni's team withdrawing their subpoena for Taylor.
Now, here's where things really heat up: the track list itself. When Taylor revealed her 12th studio album, The Life of a Showgirl, Swifties immediately locked in on 2 songs, Ruin the Friendship and Canceled. Track 6, Ruin the Friendship, instantly set the internet on fire. Fans couldn't ignore how closely it lined up with the whispers about her and Blake. For years they were inseparable, but lately, it feels like there's distance, and the title was just a little too on the nose. And then, track 10, Canceled. Oh my god, fans nearly lost it. Given Blake's recent controversies, people couldn't help but theorize that this might be Taylor's way of commenting on the situation without ever saying names. But here's the thing, Taylor never confirms who her songs are about. That's part of the magic. It leaves room for endless decoding, fan debates, and speculation that fuels her entire cultural moment.
It's at a point where, like, something can be about me. Like, my name can be in the actual headline, and it can still be none of my business. Okay? People can be out here, people might be out here doing too much.
Just shaking ass.
Doesn't mean I have to do a damn thing.
Yeah.
We live in such a social media moment.
At the end of the day, whether Ruin the Friendship is really about Blake Lively or not, one thing is clear. Taylor Swift has once again turned real-life headlines into art that has fans absolutely spiraling. And honestly, that's exactly why she stays at the center of every conversation. But this is only the beginning. Once the album drops, every lyric will be dissected, every track will be theorized about, and who knows what hidden meanings we'll uncover next. And hey, if you don't want to miss a single twist in this story, make sure you hit subscribe right now, because the next Taylor update, trust me, you won't want to be late to that one.